Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Ketchidori.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Enlightened Entrepreneur. Today's interview is sponsored by worldoutsourcingsolutions.com, where we specialize with helping business owners with all outsourcing needs and other business growth systems related topics. My interview today is a very special interview with a gentleman who I respect and who really has done a lot in terms of marketing, and helping other business owner. And the gentleman I have with me is Ajay Prasad. Now, welcome to the show, Ajay.
I'm glad to be here.
And thank you for agreeing to, being so gracious with your time and sharing your knowledge and your expertise when it comes to starting a digital marketing, say, company, or even starting business in general.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to share my any wisdom that I have gained over a period of time.
Yes, we often like to ask, our guests, their backgrounds, in terms of education, and experience that you have, when it comes to the subject we're talking about. Could you tell us a bit about your educational background and your experience?
Sure. I'm originally from India, and I came to US a long time back. Actually, I've lived here longer than I've lived in India to get my master's in business. And after education, actually, I went and worked for corporations, and I worked for corporations for 17 years in different. It was all in the marketing and strategy area.
Right.
And I was one of the fortunate ones that I rose up rather quickly in the corporate ranks. So most of my career, I've been, at the vice president level of major corporation, and my job experience included actually CEO of a startup in the .com era in the Silicon Valley. So,
right.
So that is my education and the corporate world, where I spent 17 years in corporations.
Incredible. And after that time, you ventured on your own to create one of the, world's best transcription company. Would you talk us through that journey, how you conceived the idea to a place of creating such a company, which really is the go-to company when it comes to transcription, especially in the US today?
Yes, and it is a very interesting story. Sometimes you can even say lucky story. Right. So after my corporate, when I felt like I'm done with corporation and I want to start something on my own, given my background, I obviously opted to go for the marketing, agency, because that was my strength. And I focused on digital marketing because 12 years back when I started, the digital marketing concept was not even there especially for small and medium-sized companies.
Right.
So that's where I focused. Now, very quickly, I had people started coming to me who wanted to do a web-based business. Plus, also, as I started to delve more into specific marketing tactics like search engine marketing and paid advertising and all, I really needed to have some experience. So I hate to use my customer as my guinea pig. I mean, that's not my style. So right. While in the very beginning, I thought that there was a need for transcription services for the marketing consultant. That's a qualifier. So I thought the marketing consultants needed, because when I did consulting, I would go and I would record it, the discussion. And one time I had 11 hours of recording, and I could not find a transcription company who would even give me a straight price of it and the turnaround time. And because, of course, there was no concept of digitally uploading the file in those days, even though my recorder was digital. So they asked me to convert that into a tape and send. It was like a hoop. So I knew that there was a need for transcription. So when I decided, what I decided to do is create a web-based business, because a lot of entrepreneurs came to me for help, and I wanted to prove it to myself, frankly, that I can really help them. And also, I wanted to prove it to myself that all my marketing tactics work.
Right.
So I spent like $900 to create this business, essentially a simple platform where you could upload your voice file and it can be sent to a transcriber to download it. Now to give you an idea of what my expectation was in terms of business was, I had joked, when my wife was saying, "What are you doing with another business?" I had told her that, one day it may make our car payment. So what's wrong with that?
Yes.
But again, I did not start this business thinking that it will become like a leading transcription company or anything like that. I just wanted to see that all these technology that I wanted to offer to my clients work, and so that was the very simple goal. Now, what happened that the market was much bigger than I had even imagined. I thought that only marketing consultants may need it, so I was expecting that maybe I will do few $1,000s a month in business, and then I'll make some profit, like I said, make the car payment. It just took off because at that time there were no other company that offered us very simple, very easy way to get the transcripts of the recording, and also have a very transparent pricing. So you could literally, before you give the work, you could see how much it will cost. And to my surprise, it took off. Now I was running a digital marketing agency, so
Right.
I hired someone to do it, and then of course I was involved at the strategy level. So we have, the simple $900 platform that I started with is now a super complex, something like $50,000 or more platform that manages the complete business on its own. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm involved in the strategy. Maybe I spend a couple of hours a week talking to the people who run it. But now I have a team of people here who just completely run this business on its own. And it reached, just to give you an idea how I underestimated. That's why I was saying it was a lucky break also, is
Right.
that it hit seven figures in sales back in 2010. And I was expecting it to do like $25,000-$30,000 a year in sales. So, I guess the moral of the story is that good intentions sometimes pay off. The only reason I started this is because I just wanted to check all my marketing tests on this before I can offer to customers. Now, as you can imagine, we don't offer do all the marketing tests on this now. I have created another business to do all this testing,
Right.
because I don't want to screw up, a perfectly, running business.
Absolutely. And what was very impressive, in fact, what is very impressive, you are now working with FBI, AT&T, McDonald's, Oxford University. They're all using your services,
Exactly.
which is something that you you did not see it happening when you were coming up with the idea.
Exactly. I had no idea of the demand. The professors, if you look at my list of the university, the people from universities that have used us, I think it's almost every major university in the world, including Oxford and Cambridge, from UK, and of every major university in US, the universities from Switzerland, from Germany, Spain. It's just amazing. I had no idea that there's such a big need. Now, obviously, I have a really competent person who is running it, so she knows what is going on. Frankly speaking, I'm always the last person to go from the office, and there are times when I'll pick up a phone call on transcription, and there's a 90% chance that I cannot answer it, so I have to fake it. Of course, I don't tell them that I own the company. I just said, the head person is gone for the day, so can I have her call you back tomorrow, because it has become a fairly complex business on its own. As you can imagine, any successful business is fairly complex.
Incredible. Really appreciate you taking time to share your knowledge with business owners, especially those who are starting up. Now, from that story, what can you highlight to those who are getting started in business?
There you have to have some core before you start a business, okay? And that core cannot be making money, because frankly speaking, if it was that easy, everyone would start a business, start making money. So when you're starting a business, my first advice is make sure that you are bringing some real value. Like for transcription, as I told you, there was no service at that time. And,
Right.
and there was a huge headache. I mean, I spent 2 hours trying to find someone to transcribe these 11 hours of recording, and I ended up doing it myself, listening to it, because I couldn't find. I got ridiculous rates, like $11,000, $12,000. I mean, so there was a real need. Now, like I said, I thought the need was much bigger. It turned out to be a much bigger need. So make sure that there is a real need, and you are fulfilling it, and also that you are making it easy for your customer. The second thing is you have to make sure that you are taking care of the customers. I mean, we even when my business was doing few $1,000s a month, I was really picky about a couple of things: customer service, and I was really picky about the quality of the of the product. So, for example, I am one of those few companies where I don't like when you call that you jump through million hoops just to find out who you want to talk to, like go to directory, this and that. I have always had a person who is a live person taking the phone call during the business hours and transferring. I am very big on customer service. So, for example, on transcription, even though if you go there, there's a big tab that says rates, okay, and you can click.
Yes.
And it has a calculator. Everything is there. Guess what? Most of the calls we get for when it comes to transcription,
it is about the rates.
Exactly. I have a 45 minutes of recording. I have 7 hours of recording. How much would you charge to record? So we don't say, hey, dummy, go and look at the rates, right? So we act like it's not even there. So we say, okay, let's talk about how many people are there. So all the variables, and my person here is literally using the same calculator that they could use it on the website. And then after that, they tell them, okay, this is the cost is going to be. So again, customer service, I'm personally a big believer on. But when you start a business, make sure there's a real need, and you are doing something that you can say that I stand out. So for example, of course, when I first started, there were very few people, if there was anyone, where you could just upload your voice file, say, I need it with, this is a turnaround time I need, and know the price, and get the work done. Now that there are a lot of people have popped up in that business, our really core thing that we focus on is still customer service. We focus on the accuracy, and we focus on the fact that all the transcribers that we have are local, because getting someone, and even though these are all virtual transcribers, just so that we don't have anyone on the payroll, these transcribers, they're all independent contractor, but they have to pass our test and everything, and we are not averse to hiring someone from outside. But what happened that no one who applied from, say, Nigeria or India or Philippines passed our test. So we just decided to totally focus on US-based transcriber, which is, again, that is one of the big things for the FBIs of the world. We learned very quickly that the security was a major issue for universities. So we made sure that our platform is as secure as it gets. I always make it very clear that, listen, nothing in the world is unhackable. I mean, people can hack Pentagon. So I'm a small business, but given that, my security level is same as, for example, Amazon. security level. At least what Amazon clearly says that. So you just learn what your customer need. You have to take care of your customers. And if you have a real product, you are creating value. That is a product that is creating a real value, and you take care of the customers, you'll thrive. That is my that was my experience in corporation, and it's the same thing as an entrepreneur.
Wonderful, wonderful. I assume in those early days when you were starting, you faced some roadblocks. Are there any roadblocks which you see other entrepreneurs who are getting started face, which are similar to the one you faced?
Yes, I will tell you. It is very interesting. When I started my digital agency, and when you first start a business, obviously, which now I won't do that, but at that time I just started a business. I started offering service. Anyone who walked through the door, I will accept them as a customer. And I already told you that I'm very big on customer service. So about 2-3 years into the business, when I was not even breaking even, I was still bleeding on my digital marketing agency.
Right.
I was spending 80-90 hours a week working, and it seemed like all my work hours, so 40 hours, I was dealing with customers who were very unhappy. It reached a point where I must have thought 15-20 times, if not more, that maybe it's time to quit. And I had this when you have options, which is normally, I think, is not a good thing. but it's because I had the option to go back to the corporate world, where I was decently well positioned, and I was still getting calls from the recruiters. I cannot tell you how many times. So one time I just decided that maybe I'm done. So this is a Friday. I left the office. I said I'm done. And on weekends, on Saturday, I do come to my office, because the office is closed here. We deal with other businesses; they are closed on weekends. So my office is closed, but I always come on Saturday because it feels like I can catch up with something. Plus, it's time for me to reflect. So
Right.
I came to my office as routine, and I'm thinking, okay, literally, I was driving from home, thinking that I will go, go to the Rolodex, look at the people that I know who can maybe help me place a job, and start contacting next week. So that was the intention. Now, when I went to the office, I just started to see, what do I do with all these people, my customers? So I will have to probably find another agency to take over. So I started. So given that, I started making a list of all the customers, and at that time I had 17 customers, right? And
Right.
then I started next to them, happy, unhappy, and to my surprise, there were like 4 customers who were unhappy, those were the ones who were sucking up like literally 90% of my time during the workday. And these 13 customers who were happy, these poor guys, I had not even gotten in touch with them, because they were happy with the results. And I'm like, then I started to list the attributes of those customers, and it was clear to me. I mean, I was that instead of my regular 4 hours, I ended up spending that Saturday like for 18 hours. And I looked at the attributes, and it was very clear to me what kind of customers were happy, and there were so many common things that it was not even funny. So it was an eye opener for me that, oh, these are the kind of customers I should be getting, businesses, and these are the customers I should avoid, rather than
Right.
take everyone and scramble. So on Monday, literally, I resigned the 4 account, and I didn't tell them that I'm firing you anything. I just said, I don't think that we are the right company for you.
Right.
And then contacted all these 13 people and set up a time to talk to them. Just wanted to find out where I can do anything better. To my surprise, I got additional sales just by talking to them. And I created think about it as a profile of my good customer, or perfect customer, whatever you want to call it, or ideal customer. And
Right.
then I started to make sure that I would solicit companies that fit that profile. We have a lot of walk-ins, in the sense not literally walk-in, but they call us, they find us on the internet, they call us, through referral, and making sure that they fit the profile of ideal customer before I would accept them. And really, other thing that I noticed is the moment I started to setting up the right expectations. Sure, that meant I lost some customers because they thought, oh, I need guarantee, I need that, this and that, and I would tell them that marketing, sorry, there's no guarantees. I mean, this is what we do, this is what we expect, but I cannot guarantee you. By just setting the right expectations, customers are not disappointed. So that was and after that, it was kind of, I would say, smooth sailing, because after that, I learned that, my existing customer, I can sell them more products. Then as the market evolved and new things happened, I started offering to my existing customers, and lo and behold, we keep on selling to the happy customer, because they're happy to buy more from you. And so the big lesson that I always tell now, when I still get entrepreneurs come to me and asking for my advice, because when it comes to, I'm among the very few, you can say, consultant or agency owner who has also built his own very successful online business. So I do get entrepreneurs coming to me, and what I tell them always now is, hey, before you start, think through who is your good customer or ideal customer. Literally, if you can draw them, if it is if it is business to consumer, and see who the customer is. If it is business to business, you should literally start listing the businesses that you think would be your perfect customer, and you need to know why. And that will solve a lot of heartburn. Later on, your chances of success increase, and dramatically will increase. And then, of course, your sales to those customers, especially on B2B, will keep on increasing. But the same is true for B2C. If the consumer, once they buy from you and they're happy with what you're selling, when you offer additional product, they would buy. Same thing with businesses.
Incredible. Absolutely.
The other thing that is almost unsaid is, remember, I told you that I went there, thinking that I'm just going to check the Rolodex and make the list of the people that I will call.
Yes.
And because that was not, my heart was not into it. I felt like I had to do it because it was like a necessity. I have to survive. If I had done that, the same thing, like I'm saying, boy, I mean, that would be one of the biggest mistake I would have made if I had quit. So the persistence is so important. You don't know when you will turn the corner. You just don't know. So the persistence is the biggest thing. And when the entrepreneurs come to me, I always tell them that, listen, it will take you longer to succeed than you think, and it will cost you more money to succeed than you think to start with. And as a result, you have to be persistent. Unless you are persistent, the chances of failure just increases big time, in multiple times.
Incredible. You spoke about options. That is not a good thing to have options when you were mentioning.
Yes. So that's what I was saying, because I had options to get a job. And I really believe that and I'm almost certain, I mean, of course I didn't do that if I had decided to really, like on Saturday when I went to the office, that next week started looking for a job, I would have found a job in a couple of weeks. So, because at that time I had left the industry, it was still very hot, it was new, and I had a very unique position in that industry. I was decently known. So I knew that I can find a job there. And what it does is, when you have options, quitting becomes easy, right? Or easier. And that's what I'm saying. When you have, you see, I see the biggest reason for most of the entrepreneurial failures are quitting. People quit instead of learning, pivoting, tweaking. They will just give up. and then just try to find some quote unquote easy route. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can get a job in McDonald's, whatever. So the quitting becomes easy when you have options. That's why I was saying that the options are not necessarily a good thing when you are an entrepreneur.
Incredible. I love that mindset which you've just shared. Other than that, what perfect mindset would you suggest, an entrepreneur who is starting to adopt to ensure that they have success, either be short term or long term?
Yes. So the one thing that I would tell the entrepreneurs, and I tell the entrepreneurs when they come to me, that whatever business that you think that you are doing, because when you're starting from scratch, it's not for the ones who are buying a franchise. I mean, then you know exactly what you're doing. So you're sort of entrepreneur, but you're buying a running business model. But when you are starting from scratch, whatever you're thinking, there is a 99.9% chances that it will change, because as you get more involved, things change. You thought that that's what people like. Like in GMR transcription, I told you, I thought that it was only the marketing consultant who would need this, and then it turned out that I have the U.S. Navy and FBI and so many police departments and all these college professors and students needing it. So,
Right.
so you just count on the fact that you'll need to evolve. So you have to be very flexible in the business. So you have to evolve as you see things around you. After every experience, you will make changes. I mean, even after so many 12 years of business, like this year, I have launched a new product, for digital marketing. It's a reputation development product, called Repugen. And I thought that I knew exactly what is needed, because remember, we are doing reputation development for our clients for the last 3 years now,
Right.
full time. So basically, all those manual thing, I got it automated, and I saw okay, that is done. And of course, I offered to my existing client, which right now, like, there are 40 people using it, the software, and everyone who uses it, and then they go through that, I realized that, oh, we need to make this tweak. Yesterday, I had a sales presentation with a very decent sized company, and if we get it, it will be a very good size sales. And I came up with 10 new features that I have to add there, and I promised right there that I can do it. And of course, I have a development team who can do that. But right there, so again, if I had said, hey, this is it, I am telling you from 3 years of my experience, and we have been very successful with manual programs, so I'm just automating, and don't worry about what you want, just take what I am giving. Just believe me, even some of my regular customers wouldn't have taken it. So the being flexible and being able to evolve is absolutely must have.
Incredible. Really appreciate you taking your time. If you were to do it all over again, AJ, launching a business into in the industry in today's world, like in 2016, what would you do differently, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, so of course, knowing what I know of, I would make the mistake that I made in the first 3-4 years, in terms of, literally not just getting the wrong customers, but marketing. Obviously, I was not doing the marketing right. So now, to the entrepreneurs, actually, what I tell them is this is one thing that you should plan out: is who is your ideal customer? What's the sales message that you think will attract them? Test it, because these days it's so easy to test with paid advertising on the internet. The option was still there back in even 12 years back, but I did not know that, right? So
Right.
now, if I started my digital marketing agency, I'm telling you, it would be, instead of taking 5 years to break even, which is what it did, by the way. It took me 5 years before I could start making positive, like in black, not making a lot of money. Luckily, my experiment with GMR transcription worked. So that company not only paid my car payment, but it made my house payment. It also, paid for the negative cash flow on GMR Web Team during that time frame. So I lucked out. But definitely, it won't take that long because you go with the right plan. You have already tested your marketing with a very small investment before you launch it, and then you know that your success is very big. So first thing, knowing who the customer is, making sure what is their pain point, right, that you are addressing, and then perfecting a message so that they can see that, oh, you are the solution for that pain that they have, uh, and launch it. I know that it will be so much more faster, and actually, I am doing that. Like I said, I'm this year when I launched this new product. It's a software as a service, product, Repugen. I am I like I said, I'm already doing everything right. So it's only 2 months since the product is launched. The people who are using are happy, and then I have a decent number of people who are interested in using it, and I know how to pivot, right? I know how to look at when someone tells me, oh, I need this feature. Either that feature I think that needs to be there, so I will say, okay, great, I will add it. Or which happened yesterday in the meeting, they said, I want this specific reporting. So I said, yes, we can do it for you on a one-time cost, because I know that not everyone would need that. So just knowing now, this makes it so much more faster. If I had started this software product in 12 years back, when I did not know what I know now, just trust me, right now I will be jumping all over trying to get people to use it, and then they will be saying that this thing does not work. I don't like this, and then I will be scrambling and apologizing to them. And now I know so much better how to go after the right people. And there are companies who have come to us, even my own client, because we in the newsletters, we have a newsletter that we send it out to a list. I mean, we have some people we don't even that proactively solicit it, which I think we should, to add to the list. And we announced that, and we had a couple of companies who contacted us, and basically I said, I don't think that we are ready for you right now, because I know that they are not the right company. So that's what it's a really huge thing to know who your customer is and why they want to buy something, because it will make your life really easy.
Incredible.
I've always said, unless you have a really good product, or unless you're fulfilling a need in the marketplace, then it won't work. And that doesn't mean that you have to have unique thing. You could just do something that hundreds of people are already doing in the marketplace, but then you have to do something different for that product. So I'm not saying that product or service has to be unique, but your offering has to be different from what others are doing.
Incredible. AJ, you've been so wonderful, and I would like to honor your time. And how can people start work with you? I know, your service is GMRT transcription. How else can people work with you?
So my website actually, by the way, is GMR transcription. It's not GMRT transcription. So it's GMR transcription.com is my transcription business. But my digital marketing agency is gmrwebteam.com, and you can contact me literally by email at ajay at gmrwebteam.com. I would suggest your listeners to use your name on the subject line, so that it will stand out. I get lots of emails and I respond to almost all of them, but of course it's much easier for me to flag the ones that I know that I have to respond to, and it's not junk. So I'm available by email to ask any question, and I will ask your listener to also visit my website, repugen.com. This is the new software product that we are creating, And right now there is just a basic information there. The engine is working, so now we are working on the website and making it. And now that people are using it, it's working. So doing the rest. But if there is any interest there, let me know. There's a contact form there. So there's many ways to contact me.
Incredible. Just to wrap up our time here together, are there any final thoughts or anything that you wish I had asked in our time together? You hope the entrepreneurs will be beneficial to the people we have here today?
Yeah, I always tell entrepreneurs, because starting a business and being successful at it is a really difficult task. Okay, and you will have more failures than successes, guaranteed, when someone is starting it. So and then I already told you that I think that being able to the perseverance, or being able to just stick to itness, is very important. So in order for you to really stick to it and persevere, if you like what you're doing, if you are passionate, passionate is a very strong word, but unless you like what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, you will give up. Just trust me. So I just tell people that, just because I cannot tell you how many people come to me and say, so and so is doing it and making a lot of money, so I want to do that too. And I always tell them that, what you are seeing, the end result. You don't see what he or she went through to be successful, where they are. So unless you like what you're doing, or somewhat passionate about it — passionate is fantastic — then it will be very difficult to persist. You will give up. So do something that you like. You have to be good at it, and you should also like doing that. I mean, I love strategy. I cannot tell you, the GMR transcription, as I said earlier, was making so much money that it was not only paying my expenses, household expenses, but also plugging in the negative cash flow from GMR Web Team. You can imagine how easy it was for me to close GMR Web Team and just focus on transcription and make a good living. But what I really enjoy every day is talking to the business owners, looking at their problems, trying to come up with solutions, and talking to entrepreneurs, helping them go from A to B. That's what I enjoy. And if I did not enjoy doing that, I would own the digital marketing agency, which I have today, and which meant that all these customers we have, I won't have developed this reputation development platform that I have developed. A lot of things I wouldn't have done it. And the only reason I stuck to it was because I liked it. And all the advisors, by the way, told me that I should close Web Team and go to transcription. And just, my attitude was, but how? I'm not excited about, even though it's a very successful business, it's very hard for me to get up every morning and be excited. But right now, I don't have any problem. As a matter of fact, Monday is the most exciting day for me, because I'm looking forward to the whole week. So yeah, like you should like what you do. You have to be good at that also. Obviously, if I wanted to become a professional basketball player, no matter how passionate I was, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yes.
Yes. So you have to be good at it, but you also like it. So that's the one advice that I would also tell people, that it will make your really tough journey very relatively, palatable. And again, you should, Yeukai, also, when you talk to, just make it very clear to entrepreneurs that this journey is going to be a difficult one. It's not going to be easy.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much, AJ, for a great interview and sharing all your experiences and your great knowledge when it comes to digital marketing and running business in general. I'd like to invite you, our listeners today, to visit AJ's websites, and the one that is close to me right now is gmrtranscription.com. And Repugen.com. I think Repugen is spelled as REPUGEN.
Correct.
And also you can find AJ at gmrwebteam.com if you want to get in touch with him. Once again, really appreciate AJ for taking time to be with us here today. And for all our listeners there, take action. There's a lot of great actionable information here we got from AJ today. And I look forward to seeing you again in another episode of Enlightened Entrepreneur. And in closing, if you've got any outsourcing needs that you require attention to, visit our site, which is www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com, and you'll get some help there. Once again, thanks, AJ, for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you very much. And I had a good time.
Awesome. And have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yukaibusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.